All right, guys, today we are gonna be reacting to woman regrets divorcing her husband when he instantly replaced her. Woman hitting the wall. Let's jump in, guys.
Like thinking, does he already have someone else? But I'm not gonna lie, it makes me feel like shit. It really does. It makes me feel horrible about myself. And I wish it didn't. I wish it didn't, but it does.
Welcome back, family.
That's crazy.
The modern woman just cannot cease to amaze me, and today we are reviewing this woman who willingly divorces her husband but do not want him to move on with his life. Now, I want you to pay attention on how she will paint herself as the victim in this next clip, which I will completely debunk later on by showing who she really is in other clips. Let's jump in.
I felt compelled to respond, to make a video in response to what someone commented on another video about my children's father, H, wanting, like, pressuring to file for divorce because he possibly has someone else. And it's something that I wish this person hadn't commented, because I have been thinking about that, and it makes me feel even worse than what I already do, because it's something that I've definitely also thought about, and his actions have made me think that this is a possibility. And it's just not good for my self-esteem. When I knew he was coming after 3 months of not seeing him and him not seeing his kids, I even offered for him to stay here. I thought it would be a better transition for the kids to see him, and then we would talk to our daughter, our oldest daughter, for 7 months, 7 years. Oh, 7 years old, almost 7 years old. And he didn't want that. He said he wanted his space, and he is a person that wants his space.
Yeah,
He
that's a trap. That's a trap right there, guys. You see how she won? She's the one that wants you to sit down, have these things, right? You're playing into her trap, because I can guarantee you, she's the one planning all the stuff from the beginning. See how calm she is telling about the story? Interesting.
When he's next to me and he's on his phone, he kind of goes like this, the pressuring, and then he already talked about, when we were talking about how we were going to be before we talked to our daughter, and how we wanted, I said, I want this to be okay, we weren't meant for each other, but that doesn't mean we have to be enemies, and it's good.
Hey,
I
told you, you want to put him in the category of friend zone. We don't have to be enemies, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's setting the frame, and he can smell that.
To see that we can even be friends, right? And have like moments that it's the four of us.
Nah.
So yeah,
they want to have both worlds, huh? They want to have the single divorce and single world, but you want the family as well. Now you don't get none.
Behaviors have gotten me like thinking, does he already have someone else?
Of course.
And it does make me feel like shit even more. It really does, because I feel like I'm not easily replaceable. For 12 years that I've been with him, I feel like I've begged for his love, and it's like, the harder, the more the people play hard to get, the more you want that person. I feel like that's what's happening.
Toxic. It's called
Even
toxic.
though I know that he is not the person for me. It's an ego thing. I know that.
It's not an ego thing. It's called pre-selection. Hey, pre-selection. He already taken. That means somebody else likes him, wants him, and that in itself creates competition in your mindset.
I know it's an ego thing, but I'm not gonna lie. It makes me feel like shit. It really does. It makes me feel horrible about myself, and I wish it didn't. But it does. And so then I feel like maybe it's time to just like rip the Band-Aid off and like start dating myself, or seeing what's out there. And I know a lot of people say, no, you're not ready, and you got to learn to love yourself before you can love someone else, and you got to be by yourself. But I feel like I have been for the last 12 years, actually. I feel like I have been by myself in a certain way. I've been with someone, but he's been doing his own thing this whole time, and I'll get into that in another post. But
Yeah, so see, she already has somebody in mind, right? That's what I'm getting.
and I'll get into that
Let me
in
see.
another by myself. And for the last 12 years, actually, I feel like I have been by myself in a certain way. I've been with someone, but he's been doing his own thing this whole time, and
So that's the guy, right? I think the guy resents him. They resent her. When guys do this type of stuff, it's because they resent her. She did something, or she probably was doing a lot of things that was not. When guys behave like this, it's resentment.
I and I'll get into that in another post. But yeah, part of me just wants to just like, let's go, let's move on, let's do this, because I do not like feeling like and like I'm not worthy of people's love. Yeah.
This is how women destroy their own life with
Yeah.
unnecessary baggage just to satisfy their ego. She want to start dating just because her soon-to-be ex-husband has moved on. Now, do not fall for all these fake crocodile tears because she is the one that is filing for divorce.
that's what
She
I
is
said.
actually the one that is destroying her own family because of her jealousy and envy toward her husband's success. Let me show you what I mean by that in this next clip.
Resentment. It's something that I definitely felt towards H, that I feel towards H sometimes, because it's just different for men and women. I mean, and that's just the way it is. Like, anyone can argue that, oh, no, it's not. Like, women have it 10 times harder. We are the caretakers. We have the invisible load. We take care of the kids and work, or some people just take care of the kids. But like, we have an amount of work and responsibility and mental like load. Yeah, when it comes to the kids, that's just not, it's not the same. I mean, biologically, you know, we nurse, or some, not all. So while H was
She looks like she have these kids late too, man. Some of these guys, some of these things are just these guys, man. Golly, man, they settle for the lowest, man.
able to really dedicate himself more to his career, I've had to split myself, and it has been extremely difficult. We both work in video production, and since I've known him, H has always traveled for work, and I completely get that and whatnot. But once we had, you know, our daughter, it continued, which is fine. It was just more of a feeling like it's not the same for me. Like, I can't just up and leave, you know, for weeks at a time, sometimes almost a month. And like, I couldn't do that, you know. I would, or I could, I know I could if I wanted to, but I didn't want to. And so of course it was like, he is, you know, moving up in his career, and
Oh yeah, wow. So she's jealous about him. She's jealous. Wow.
staying stagnant, and that is frustrating.
She's jealous. Wow, bro. Like, this is the worst, man. These men, you have to bet your woman better. She feels jealous about his success. When he's success, it's her success. Crazy.
And then finally, when my daughter turned 2 and I came back to the United States after, you know, living in Mexico for such a long time, and offered a bigger position in a production company, and I took it. It was the first time that I was away from her, and working a full-time job, and I loved it. I really enjoyed that, and I realized that I can't be just a stay-at-home mom, and it's important for me to work, and that gives me joy as well. But when it came to like being able to travel for work, I was never available for that. Because I didn't want to leave my daughter. My daughter's also autistic, so I try to limit these drastic changes in her life as much as possible, and I've been the one constant factor, so I can't just like up and go for a couple weeks or a couple of days even. And I know that's been my choice and whatnot, but yeah, there is resentment there when he can and he does and I don't. And again, I know that that's my choice. Now, it's very difficult. It's very difficult to be able to work even now. I have my own company, and I've decided to have my own company to give me the flexibility of being the mother that I want to be, but also being having the career that I want to have, and it's not. Like, I don't, I don't. H right now is in Miami, then he's gonna go to Mexico, and then, he goes to Jamaica, and he goes all over the place, and I don't because I don't want to disrupt my kid's life. I'm still nursing my son, so yeah, there's resentment.
This is what feminism has done to modern women.
Damn.
Her all body and soul is literally letting her know what she should do because it's what she really wants. But her indoctrination of pursuing her career is always interfering and pushing her to completely destroying her family. As a
So it's like a subconscious mindset, right? So the subconscious mindset is telling her right now, because she's indoctrinated, no, you're doing the right things, meaning that you're doing the wrong thing. You should be out there traveling the world, all this fake stuff, that mean nothing.
At-home mom, she is the primary beneficiary of all the hard work her husband is putting in. But she can't even see it because of all the indoctrination about pursuing her career to compete with her own husband. And she even admitted that her husband didn't do anything wrong and that he is a good man. Check it out.
I want to clarify something, because I think that I might be coming off as a victim here, and I'm not. I'm a victim of myself. I'm not a victim of H. I'm a victim of myself. He is not a bad person. He's not the right person for me. I'm not the right person for him, unfortunately. That hurts. But he's not a bad person. And this divorce is amicable. At least up until this point, we're on the same page about doing things this way for our kids, for ourselves. I'm not on a place like I can't see him. I can't see him with another person right now, but I can see him.
This woman is so narcissist to the point that she cannot stop saying in all her posts that she doesn't want to see her husband with another person, even though she doesn't want to be with him anymore. Let me just show you how narcissist she really is in this final clip.
My mind is my worst enemy. Sometimes I am my own worst enemy. For instance, this is going to be difficult to say because it makes me sound like a crazy person, and I realize that, but it's the truth, and I said that I would be raw and unfiltered, right? Even though I don't want to be with him anymore, there is a part of me that wants him to still want to be with me. And when I kind of think about what gets me upset, or why am I so sad about certain things, of him wanting to also go through with the divorce, if I don't want to be with him, and it's this craziness, or I don't know, maybe it's just human. Here it is. My problem is not that I don't value myself, or I don't have self-love. I think if I didn't, I would continue.
When they talk about value myself, so self-love, it's just so much cope, man. It's me. These are words that are just about me.
To be in this relationship, and I feel like this found awareness of myself and the self-love has brought me to this point of wanting to get the divorce and move on and find someone, or many someones that fulfill me.
Someone, you see, it was about 3 or 4, man. You start putting your life out there in TikTok, man, this is what you end up with. Females are very easy to manipulate. Very easy.
But what hurts me is that I feel he doesn't value me the way I value me, and that's what really hurts.
I'm just glad that this good man will be finally free and leave this unstable woman. These are the type of women that will be crying about how they cannot find a good man later on in life when they realize that their career is really not that fulfilling. She has everything right now, and she can even work on her career part-time while waiting for her kids to grow up so that she can then focus more on her career as time goes on. But she chooses to destroy her own family because she cannot get over her jealousy. Fellas, let me know in the comment section if you would like a part 2 on this woman, because there is just too many clips